Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the closing bell here at MarketStream.live. This is where we're going to wrap up everything for you, give you a little perspective. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's take a look right now at how the markets actually finished today. It was muted action. Now, we did have a little bit of movement in certain sectors, and we're going to get to that. But the Dow closed up about 0.5% at 19,954. Decent run to the upside, came off of its worst levels of the day and ended the session in a positive note. The Russell 2000 small cap beta stocks finished the day up about 0.4%. We saw that the small caps finished up at 1374.50. We saw the NASDAQ closing at 5,564, up about 0.2%. We saw the S&P 500 close at 2,275, up about 0.2, almost 0.3%. Now, the action did come on higher than average volume, both on New York as well as the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ did outpace pretty significantly. You also saw that advancers did beat out decliners on both the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, and you had, again, new highs outpacing new lows. This is very positive right now. This is post the first press conference since elected from President-elect Trump. And let's take a look at the sectors that showed some relative strength and relative weakness after the Trump discussions. First of all, you saw a continued positive upside in the crude and crude byproduct segments. U.S. gasoline, even after the EIA build report, the Department of Energy came out with a build in storage and stocks. And gasoline, UGA is the ETF you can use to monitor this if you don't have access to the RBOB contracts for gas. They were up 3.3% today. You also saw that U.S. oil was up again. USO up 2.5%. It was a pretty significant bounce, even in spite of a build in storage. You're still seeing the copper miners moving to the upside. COPX was up almost 2% at 1.99%. And you're seeing emerging markets on the move. EEM was up 1.2%. We talk about those markets on the overnight action report at 8:30 Eastern time. So you can go back and look at what we're talking about today, as well as join us tomorrow morning. Now, what did show some relative weakness post the Trump commentary press conference? Biotechs. Biotechs got destroyed. As soon as he started talking, IBB, the biotech ETF, was down almost 5 points. Saw it on its worst level, down about 9-10 points. It's finished the day down about 2.99%. You saw the VIX. The VAXX is the ETF that follows the VIX product, down about 2.1%. So volatility continues to get crushed. That's telling you that there is a lot of complacency, especially after Trump has spoken. Now we're going to get into the meat of not only the inauguration, but we're going to kick off before the even inauguration happens. We're going to have earnings, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. The global silver miners were down today. SIL has been an outperformer, but this session down 1.15%. Now, that's interesting. I want to watch this closely. I want to see if this actually impacts silver. If silver starts to drop, it's considered a precious metal, but it's also a byproduct and utilized in chips. Well, let's watch to see if either chips or silver starts to be moving, and could we see some maybe red flags coming up for either one of those sectors. Healthcare was also taking it a little bit on the chin post the Trump commentary about drug regulation and drug development, lower price controls, things of that nature. He didn't use that exact word, but pricing and more competitive pricing. Healthcare XLV down 1.03% today. Now, as I said, we are now getting into the beginning of another earnings cycle, and this earnings cycle is going to last for basically the next month and a half. So we'll have plenty to discuss on top of Trump. Tomorrow, what I want to watch very closely is Delta Airlines, ticker symbol DAL. Stocks trading at 51.44. It was up about 1% today. There's been some positive guidance as far as the December traffic that's been coming out from the airlines. We've had United, American, Air Alaska, which was really kicking it off, has been catapulting these airline stocks to the upside. Now we're going to actually get to the brass tacks. We're going to see what the real bottom line numbers are for the final quarter of 2016 after seeing what the traffic rates, seat rates, everything of that nature have been in the month of December, which is a heavy travel session. The stock right now, if you're looking at the options for the next 2 days going into this event, are pricing in a range on this $51.44 stock of around $1.72, either up or down. This stock could move about $1.72, $1.44 to $1.72 going into tomorrow. So you could see it as high as basically right around 53 bucks, or you could see it as low as 49 and some change. Now the implied volatility, which is just a forecast of potential violent moves, the rank, as I look at it, is on the lower end. It's at 29%. So with a rank so low, there's not a heightened expectation of violent moves, but it has a pretty decent range of basically between 49 and 53 being priced in. Critical levels that you're going to want to watch into this event: 50-10. 50-10 is going to be, if challenged, that's going to put the short-term trend in question. 48-40, if challenged and broken, that's going to shake not only the intermediate trend, but it's also going to put institutions. There must be an institutional seller if the price is going to drop that significantly. And 42.41 is long-term support, quite a bit of ways away, but if it did ever challenge that level, that means that the overall trend of the stock is in question. After tomorrow's Delta earnings announcement, which is going to happen pre-market, so stay tuned, write this stuff down. You can basically check out and see what the ranges are that I just gave you and see how close the market fits within those after the earnings are announced. Friday morning, that's when the big banks start to announce. We're going to have Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, PNC, as well as Wells Fargo. Now, I've talked about the big three, the three that I just announced right there in Tech Talk today. So go back, take a look at Tech Talk. I actually give you some great levels and things on that. Markets are going to be closed on Monday in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday. And then Tuesday we'll resume. We'll have quite a mix, but a really solid mix. It's going to get a feel for financials, healthcare, as well as transports. We're going to have CSX, which is on the transport side. We're going to have UNH, healthcare, and we're going to have MS, Morgan Stanley. That's what's going to kick it off Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we're going to again have a huge group of financials, as well as we're going to get some tech names. Netflix, the most notable one. And then on Thursday, you're going to have a big mix. But some of the biggest ones that you're going to want to watch are some of the cybersecurities. Checkpoint, CHKP, that got a little boost today after President-elect Trump's talking about how they're going to put put in some security measures for the hacking. Take a look at ticker symbol HACK, hack. That's an ETF that tracks these stocks that are for cybersecurity, give you some ideas, give you a holistic ETF that you can watch for the sector in general. All right, folks, that is it for the closing bell right now. Join me at 8:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. I want to see you all online, listening, engaging. Send us some emails. We want to hear what your feedback is at info@MarketStream.live, info@MarketStream.live. But join us tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to kick it off by looking at Asia, and you're going to want to listen. All right, folks, thanks a lot for listening today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.